lơ lơ alo 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 lơ 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 alo alo lơ 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 alo trí lơ يلا يلا. ده ده. يلا يلا. ده ده. ده. تشيك. ده 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 ده. يلا. ده. يلا. لا لا.
Working, Yes. Touch of magic. صباح الخير على حضراتكم جميعا. النهارده بداية السيشنز بتاعت النهارده 22 أكتوبر 2025. Good morning everyone. We are starting today our first session with Dr. فوزية بنت محمد. أهلا وسهلا. It's very nice to have you here. Dr. Fauziya, she's an associate professor at UTM, and she earned her PhD degree in mechanical engineering from Sheffield University. She got before PhD and MSc in mechanical engineering as well from UTM. It's a pleasure to have you here today. Come on and just introduce yourself if you would like to add more about you, and we will be more than happy to hear your presentation.
Thank you so much for the beautiful introductions of myself. Right, it's me Fauzia Muhammad. All right, from Kuala Lumpur. Alhamdulillah to be here. So I would like to go to the slide because we need to compress our presentation today. Yeah, we have another presenter next to me after this. Can I have the presentation slide with me? Presentation. Yeah, okay. All right. Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, once again, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. So this is the title for the today talks, which is about the engineering innovation and commercialization from MJIT. MJIT stands for Malaysia Japan International Institute of Technology from University Technology Malaysia, yeah, Kuala Lumpur we are. All right, so this is about a skincare spin-off case study. Okay. So this is abstracts that I would like you to know a bit about the talk for today. So this is on the commercially viable skincare and food products through a spin-off company that we named the company under the education under UTM, which is AM Zaiden Ventures Sdn Bhd. And the presentation highlights the supportive innovation ecosystem at UTM. And also next is on the one case study, which is on the improving customer satisfaction on the packaging quality. Yeah. And then the other is I want to talk about the evaluation from the spin-off company to a mini industry teaching factory for teaching and research. All right. So this is my friend helped me to translate into Arabic language. I do hope that this will really explain what my abstract is. Yeah. All right. I do hope the same as what I'm going to talk about. But here I know that this is UTM Kuala Lumpur. All right. Okay. Next is this is the content. Yeah. The contents of my topic today, which is I'm going to divide into 3 pieces, right? The first one is part 1 is my sharing experience at a skincare cosmetic spin-off company. The name, as I said, is AM Zaiden Ventures. And I will talk a bit about what really I do in my research. And the next is the case study on the failure analysis and design optimization on the packaging quality of that products. And then part 3 on the journey of spin-off company itself, converted to mini factory food that now located at MJIT Kuala Lumpur. Okay, and then after that, we're going to have the question and answer. All right, so this is where that are working also under the spin-off company here at Wansamaju. If you've been to Kuala Lumpur, we have that before at Wansamaju. Name on top is Halia. I will explain what is Halia after this, all right? So this is, before you can go into this spin-off company, university will ask you to put some form that you request for working under this spin-off company. And then you have to really have annual renewal of that allowable by the UTM for you to work under the company. So under UTM also we have ICC, we call as Innovation Center, Commercialization Center that will monitor us. So I'm and the 4 friends here, but 2 of us is from UTM, me, myself, and my friends here, Mariam Pirdaus from UTM. And then we have to apply every year to work on the spin-off. And then what we do is, Mariam is the CEO, I one of the board directors of it. Yeah, so we have our own tasks. Okay. And then this is, we have in that company, we have the products and services that we do for outside and also from the university also, right? Okay, so we have the one is we call as freeze dry technology that we have, and also we have the extraction machine here that can produce the cosmetic and also the drink that you have, like a juice that you have yesterday. Yeah? All right. Okay, so have the video here. Can I play the video here, my dear friend? Okay. Make it slower. So I can dry the food, and then it lasts off the water until 98%. So you can, if you have the storage very well, you can go to until 25 years of in your storage, right? So this is the raw melon, and the top one is the what we call is apple. Yeah. Then you can eat as crunchy, good, healthy thing. Yeah. All right. Okay. Next. 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 Please. No. I didn't know. The next slide. Please, next slide, just enter. All right. So this is because we are working under the company, we have to really promote our product, right? Yeah. So we're making few of the marketing videos. So you can play the first one. So what is this one of the product that we? So this is the one that becomes the cosmetic. We have the herb from Asia that we turn into a cosmetic product called ginger herbs. So I just want to show to you how research can go to from university. Okay. All right, can stop this one and then go to this one.
Discover nature's wonder, jackfruit, a marvel of biodiversity, taste, and cultural significance. Each piece of our jackfruit is handpicked for its goodness, bringing you the best of Malaysia. Our selective freeze-drying process ensures only the best quality jackfruit reaches your plate. Use freeze-dried jackfruit as a flavorful topper for salads, bowls, and more. Freeze-dried jackfruit offers a convenient and nutrient-rich solution with extended shelf life, making it an ideal, flavorful addition to your diet, whether on the go or in various culinary creations.
So we are using the solvent and water only for alcohol. Very sustainable solvent in use to produce the cosmetics. So we have here a machine that can have the extract. So the one that operating the machine is our student. Call the machine for water, extraction machine. Okay, then stop and then go to the next slide.
Discover nature's wonder, jackfruit, a marvel of biodiversity, taste.
All right, so from the two machines that I shown to you, we come out with this product. But this is a cosmetic product, all right? So this is the one that the plant, we take the plant and then come up with few products of cosmetic where he has the antioxidants and nourishes your skin for anti-aging, right? And then we got the given recognition of halal, nano, yeah, so that you can penetrate to your skin easily. And then also the Malaysian recognition, yeah, to it, so we can sell the product. Okay, next. Okay, so this is what my research area is that I just want maybe we can collaborate next time, right? The students are here. So what I also do in my research is that on the vibration and noise. So you have the some sort of we call of try to look at on the damage at the bridge. We have this shaker table, and then this is for to identify the structure. So you try to identify where the location of defect is. So we try to find at that location and try to monitor the condition. So the second one is on the iron particles, where we call it as magnetic MR fluid. So it can really help in the absorption of the vibration. Suspension, we modify it so that can he really help during the vibration to your car or vehicle. So this is also I'm involved with the manufacturing on the company that signed MOA with us to investigate the finding solution to increase the company productivity, because there is so much dust that affect the product. So you can see there are so many things here. Then we look at to the system that they have in industry and then try to reduce the defects, because the defect is very high, and then we reduce it with the improving the system of the coating machine. So here is on the noise. and the other one on the temperature, and then also I do on the losses for the mufflers, right? So make up it quiet to the muffler. All right, now because we are on the food security, I also involved with this algae plant that can use for many things as feedstock product here. So the algae only use CO2, the suns, right, to come up with all the good things for us. So this is one of the projects at the wastewater center in Malaysia that we are looking through the performance of the system pilot from the Europe. So we try to get it whether it's really the quality of the wastewater that come out to the domestic, yeah, using the plant of algae. All right, so this is another one, what we call as Azola. We do AI on Azola because Azola can really good in making the feedstock, and also because it contains high protein of 30%. So this is very cheap to plant it. In 2 days, you can see huge of Azola in your pond, all right? Okay, next is that on the agriculture it says, Malaysian have the palm oil, right? Yeah, but it's very rely on the manual practice. So look at how difficult for the man to harvest the palm oil, right? So we try to help with the technology to help the person to get the palm oil, harvest it, all right? So now under the part 2, I would like to go with the improving customer satisfaction on the packaging quality of sunscreen product, because in our company before that, we have a problem. The case study is like this. Okay, but for the introduction, I will put a little here. This is all the product of Halia. Globally, you know that the beauty sector is expanding, and the rates of year 2022, where the market for cosmetic is estimated to worth USD 262.1 billion from 2023 to 2030, right? So it's increased at a compound annual growth rate at 4.2 by Chandrapal. And then when you want to buy the cosmetic, you will look at the packaging first, right? Yeah. But now we're having the problem with the packaging. Okay, how the problem is that? So, but a bit about sunscreen is, it is important, significant to preventing the skin from absorbing ultraviolet UV rays, right? So this is the packaging, the bottom one, okay? So you look at here, how the customer complain. The first one is that the sunscreen spill off from the bottle and dirty the customer bag. Okay, the second one that she want to apply the sunscreen, but notice that half of the lid was broken and missing. And then case number 3 is that on the sunscreen is broken into small pieces part, even though you can see that here you have some metal that circling the cap, right? But still happen to break the cap. All right, and then this is the base container of the sunscreen. You have the top, inside lid, main container, and base container. So where is the sunscreen located? At the main container. So this is the assembly of the sunscreen packaging. All right. All right, so this is continual customer complaint and what happened to this cap to the sunscreen packaging. All right, so this led to project to provide solution for existing problem of failure packaging under different validation by experimental and simulation. We did on experimental and do the simulation so that we also, the customer asked us to replace the packaging if necessary. Okay, so this is what we do, right? So we always start with the looking at the customer complaints and then we view and then we analyze under the experiment testing and so do the simulation, and then we try to benchmark them. If they are saying yes, then we analyze the result. So this is the properties for the sunscreen packaging, and then below is that we're going to look at how is the safety factor and the stress that happen to the cap of the sunscreen. Okay, so this is the things that we look at on. If you look at to the here, look at to the graph here, so your material will be half here that you cannot see the elongation happen, right? A little bit, but here you can see clearly how the material elongates and then it start to fracture point, right? But now we are using this machine to look at how far the given elongation to the sunscreen packaging. All right, so we always ask ourselves with this applying research paradigm, so whether they have absolute truth, so how do you view the findings, and then how you determine what is to be known, right? Yeah, and then you validate the truth, okay? And then this is what we found during our simulation. So we calculate the bond measure stress and the strain. So you can see that 0.4 displacement is too much for the cap. And then also on the displacement, so here you can see that the graph plotted by the simulation straight line and then it's break, right? So there is no elongation shown to the cap. Then it start to broke. Okay. So here the factor of safety is, you can see that the red color here is between 0, 0, 1. To save, you at least have 1 to 1, right? Yeah. But now it's lesser than 1. Okay, so we do on the testing using our machine in UTM. So we can see the similar pattern happen during the simulation, right? So we have like a butterfly crack. So this is confirmed to the one that we have during the simulation, saying that your graph is also the same here. You cannot see any elongation, and then that's why it's suddenly easily cracked. Okay, so here the conclusion is that the result says that brittleness is a factor. So you have to know that when you design or put in material, brittleness is one of the factors that engineers take into account, and then anticipating potential failure modes and designing with safety margin. And then the maximum normal stress theory can be applied, yeah? Which brittle material will fail when the maximum principal stress reaches a limiting value that is equal to ultimate normal stress that the material sustain under simple tension. All right, so this is to conclude the case study. What we do, what we can find is that A is succeed to identify the root cause, which is one measure stress is equivalent to the maximum principal elastic strain, which also can attributed as a failure in the cover package. And number B is that the cap materials fails as brittle materials. Okay, and then C, finding in simulation and experimental in a good agreement, the result. Okay, so that we suggest to the customer or the company to use this new tube packaging using PAT, right? Because this is very strong and lightweight, practically shatter resistant, low gas permeability, limiting oxygen exposure, and also low light transmitted. So here is that we have published this thing, yeah, under this journal. And then part 3, I want to show a bit how the spin-off company now transformed to be a mini factory food security teaching and research lab at UTM, right? So here, what we have done before that, because we are dealing with the services and the product, we have to really promote, myself have to go, yeah, to promote the products, right? So we go to all, meeting the customer, we go to all the occasion that can sell the product, right? Yeah, okay. So we do hope by 2025, we can establish GMP. GMP means that we have a factory that can produce the product in a bigger size, right? So now this is all that we help the community. We buy things, and then we extract, then we put as some sort of new product, yeah? And then this is what We try to sell our thing by giving discount and it's everything. This is all the lecturer's job after that, right? Yeah. Okay, so this is when we have the new stock, we do our promoting. Yeah, we ourselves have to take our picture. Yeah, and then this is when other company come to us to learn about the machines, and then we also give talk course. Yeah, and then we also call for intern for the student to come and be with us to work with our company. All right, so this is the product that we have the internship students to help us. We promote our product, and then we do our design packaging ourselves. Yeah, and then this is a UK product. We are trying to boost it, the product. Yeah. Okay, so this is now is from the Wangsa Maju, we move to UTM. Yeah, we pack everything very sad. And then this is a new a place that given by UTM for us, yeah, to bring everything because our machines all come from the grants, yeah, credit grants or Malaysian grants that help us with the machine, all right? And this is the new layout at MCIT UTM Kuala Lumpur and MCIT, right? So this is we call as mini factory food security teaching and research lab. All right. So this is a video. Can you just a bit about the video? Where is the location of this new mini factory food? Jadi discussion area, the students come here, do research. We have a small extraction machine with 5 liters. We have freezer components to put our product. So this is members of the new fraternity in anxiety. Okay, with that, I say thank you.
I was going to say that. Thank you so much, Dr. Fawzia. And well, I agree with Dr. Shahada, Dr. Khalid Shahada, that we need samples to test. It's very, it looks very nice. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. So if you have any question, we will let the question at the end of this session. Okay, doctor? All right. Now we have Professor Hisham Arafat. Please welcome him. Well, Dr. Hisham, Professor Hisham Arafat, well, actually, he has more than 27 experience in the field of the technology, where he has more than 27 years of global experience in technology, strategy, enterprise architect, actually, and so many more. Well, he's one of our expertise in Egypt. And well, can I say something? Well, he's proudly active member in our advisory board in College of Computing. Yeah.
Presentation. Thank you, Dr. Assalamu alaikum and good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here with you today, talking about a very key concept, approach, and practice in the industry. It's a very key challenge that everyone is facing. However, yet still going on as a challenge and as a risk as well. And what makes things even challenging is that AI itself is keep changing, continuous flux, especially in the past 3 years, driven by the generative AI and the breakthroughs that happened when ChatGPT or GPT has been released. So today we are going to talk about engineering of production-ready, scalable, data-driven AI applications. So we do have here a couple of key important buzzwords or keywords that we are going to focus on. So please pay attention because this is quite critical across almost all AI applications of any kind. And this actually what made, thank you so much. Okay. What makes the recent failure of about or more than 90% of the pilots and the new projects for the industry. And here I'm talking in my session for a gap that exists. This gap exists specifically for one main tier in the market. So if we can split the market into 3 tiers, the highest one is the global digital organizations like Google, LinkedIn, Twitter, Uber, and you can name many more, Airbnb. These are the digital giants. They are working on a global scale, and they have got budgets that even exceeds many of the governments. Okay, so they typically are not facing these issues, but they are source of solutions. Down there is a third tier of small and medium enterprises, micro enterprises, startups, and they are not actually won't be able to afford to build AI systems from scratch. Mostly they are using some kind of online tools, something like SaaS, software as a service. What I'm targeting here is the tier in the middle, the business organizations, enterprises, okay, organizations who are looking to adopt AI. However, they are still facing challenge. The recent event is a report by Stanford that more than 90% of pilots that has been run over the past 2 years, driven again by generative AI, has failed. This is quite big loss for companies. Companies and organizations, enterprises are still struggling to find out a way to adopt AI into and integrate AI into their business. This is what we are talking about, why this is happening and what is the proposed solutions based on the past about 10 to 15 years of experience of the global industry in this domain. So actually we are looking for AI solution definitely. I have here some kind of contradicting opinion. It's very useful and it's very bad at the same time. We need to be careful, but this is another topic. We may have a session organized for this about the risks and the negative impact. However, if we are looking to build AI systems, we are here talking about data-driven. So most of AI now is data-driven. So data is quite important. And when we talk about data, this will bring us to the other side, scalability. We need to have it scalable because data is huge. It keeps generated. You won't be able to imagine how data is growing unless you see the numbers. The numbers are huge. So the jump from 4G to 5G might have caused something like 5 to 10 doubling the size of data generated, the footprint on the network, and many other examples. And at the same time, we wanted data-driven AI, scalable, and we wanted production-ready. Production-ready means that we are going to go beyond having the core model. Over the past years, we have been focusing and concentrating on the AI models, the couple or the bunch of algorithms that solves the core problem, like in computer vision, in generative AI, language modeling, and this is quite important and this is quite essential. However, having a model does not mean it's ready to be a solution, and having even a solution does not mean it's production ready. Production is very complex. Production really very complex. So these are the 3 buzzwords that we are talking about in this presentation. Okay, so what is AI? If we try to say what is AI, it's even quite challenging, right? Because AI means many things: generative models, chatbots, agentic AI, even natural language processing, small models is still there, and is still needed for many cases. Personal assistant, even something very old like robotics. We have now emerging technologies and emerging techniques in robotics, and they are now becoming collaborative. So we have also collaborative models, reinforcement models, machine dictation, something relatively new like emotion detections. So many things belongs to AI. So even so even trying to define or unify AI is very difficult. Okay, so even if we talk about computer vision, there are many techniques for computer vision. So even the models, algorithms are not alike. There is big differences. If we talk about it, running it for skin disease, cancer disease detection, quite different from trying to use it for smart transportation. So although both are computer vision, so it's very complex even to define AI itself. So this is about myself. So already have mentioned. So I have actually 3 hats. The first one is from industry, more than 27 years in industry. Second one is working for about 12 years now for academia. So my focus is bridging the gap between industry and academia. And this is actually my relation to, just wanted to clarify this one, my relation to Dell Technologies and MCIT. So I'm working as a consultant for them, executive advisor for one big program running here in Egypt for past 4 years and still running for additional 2 years. Arab Academy is part of this program. It's called AI Empower Egypt. Very emerging one and very innovative one. We might also have a chance to introduce it later in another event. So also I have a third hat as working as mentor for startups. I have mentored around maybe more than 50 startups right now, mainly in engineering and in technology domains. Okay. So I'm going to use 3 examples in this session. These 3 examples belong to the top, from my point of view, the top impactful use cases in the industry, in the global industry. The first one is not new. It's something very old, analytics. So customer analytics is making a big business. It's the whole business of social network is centered and based on analytics for end users, consumers, call them any other name. The second one is computer vision. Mainly the most important one is autonomous driving as a key, real-time, event-driven. It has got all the complexities attributed to an AI, a complete end-to-end AI system. And definitely the third one and the strongest one is generative AI, large language models, agentic AI, which is making impact through the past 3 years. I'm going to show the 3 examples here and also what are the suggested solutions from industry point of view. So if we talk about analytics, for example, as a start, so we do have many different cases, and this is actually the most important for companies. So companies run traditional applications, which is core for them, what we call operational applications, like ERP, CRM, billing system, ATM machines, project management stuff, and so on, case management. And these are actually our source of transactional data, operational data. We do have many tens of use cases that we can run on predictive and prospective analytics. The second one, definitely image processing. Okay, it's a very old one, still emerging. We do have many old applications like RS scan, face detection. We have new ones like emotion detection. Okay, same thing goes for computer vision. Okay. The most famous is autonomous driving and self-driving cars. This is quite challenging if you think about the details of designing a self-driving car. And I had the pleasure to have some project here to evaluate and contribute to AI Empower Egypt from the Arab Academy, working on this specific solution, and even including and integrating neurosciences, for example, some advanced topic. On the other side, we have other industrial application like inspection, detection. We have so many applications. We have application regarding the ocean exploration, for example, for submerged UAVs. Many application in computer vision. We do have also reinforcement models, very important. Reinforcement learning is maybe the most effective learning technique that emulates and simulates the actual human intelligence. It's used in many cases. It's an example of imitation learning in self-driving car. We have many other examples. Edge AI, very, very important for IoT applications, for drones, robots, field application, decentralized applications, spatial AI emerging for GIS applications. This is an example of a project running in Egypt for agriculture violation, building on agricultural landscape. We have also remote sensing models. Okay, one of the key applications as well in agriculture and other stuff. We have generative AI. I think this is the last thing we need to talk about because everyone knows about generative AI. It's still emerging. Yesterday or day before yesterday, DeepSeek has announced a new OCR. OCR is very old technology. Maybe the first in AI, the second wave of AI, like 30 years back. Yesterday, they announced that they have re-engineered the whole idea of OCR and introducing a smart visual language OCR-driven application. So it keeps emerging many different ways. We have also another emerging topic, which is collaborative AI, still in research. This is my main research domain and research area. It started to even evolve from generative AI in the form of agentic AI, MCP, model context protocol, and stuff like this. How to make agents collaborate among each other to do a joint job. Okay. And the aspiration of having AGI, this is what the industry is after right now as we speak. Big guys, OpenAI, and even some startups, Gemini, Google, are going after AGI. So a lot of things going on, but however, the point here is that how much of this is applied for organization? This is a question. There is a huge gap. So I would say that only 20% of this has been realized by the industry, and even 20% of this 20% has been proved to be working fine, and 20% of 20% of 20% has been working fine. This is a key challenge that we do have a lot of marketing events going on, people talking about everything new about AI, generative AI, computer vision, but what is actually implemented and working and providing and giving back a result? This is the question we need to answer. So if we talk about AI technically, it's typically, we can think of three main pillars, three main components and areas for AI to be implemented in real life. Okay? The most important as a key one is definitely the model. And the model is a bunch of algorithms that works together to provide the value, to solve the core problems that is not being able to be solved using traditional programming. So the idea here is, again, the model is a piece of software, but it's more of intelligence piece, okay, that are capable to learn and emerge and continue to be enhanced using the data mainly. However, to be able to build this for a company, let's imagine a business group working in transportation, logistics. Okay, to be able to do this, you need first to identify what are the use cases, what you are trying actually to solve, how you are going to solve it, what is the pain points, how to measure, how to quantify, okay, and what you are actually is the solution target, the solution goal, how to calculate the ROI, because this is going to be a lot of investment going for a company. So we need to realize what is the return on investment. So it's not like we have a good idea, let's go and do it. This might work for a startup. It might work for a small company that try to test something briefly without investing a lot of money. But for an organization, a company, a business group, they want to first to realize what is the ROI of doing this and what they are trying to target actually. And what we do in industry when we engage with customers, we start with a discovery session, understanding the business, trying to figure out what can be solved, what are the use cases. We try to prioritize, because if you realize that you have 5 use cases, you will not be able to work parallel in the 5 or handling the 5. Okay, you need to select 1 or 2 maximum to start with to prove the point, and then continue. This is quite important. This is not actually technology. It's not AI as modeling and algorithms, but this, without this, you are trying to solve a problem that might not exist or might not addressing the real challenge that this company or this business group or this organization would like to handle. On the other side, once you find the model, you need to make it production ready. Production ready means that you need to design an application. The model itself is not valuable as long unless someone is being able to access, to expose, to run, to get value out of this model. So this is another problem. So we need to build a platform. We need to build an architecture. We need to do integration. We need to integrate. So this is a full solution. It needs to be scalable. So if you have a huge amount of data to use in training, if you have a large number of transactions to run simultaneously, you need a scalable platform. Scalability is key. So let's see what do we have in the market regarding this. So the model actually, if we are doing this session like 4 years back, we are going to talk a lot about the model itself and the challenges we have in modeling, what we need to enhance, the kind of emerging models, and so on. Okay. But now the surprise is that we do have a lot of models actually. So this is a recent snapshot from Hugging Face. I think everyone knows Hugging Face, right? Yeah. What is this number? Can you see the number up there? Number of models published. Almost, right? It's now, it has exceeded. So like 3 weeks back, it grew to 2,900,000 something, or 900 something. Okay, 90. Sorry, 2,090,000. And now, if you check it, it will go larger. So you can imagine that we have about 2 million models published. And these models, mostly open source, everything is, almost all details available. You can reach out to the guys who have developed the models, right? And you can see actually different applications. So on Hugging Face, there's something called workspaces. And in these workspaces, you can see applications implemented on many of these models. Okay, you have also data sets. So we do have plenty of models, actually. Okay, we do have plenty. So the focus now is not on the model itself, on developing the model. The focus should be on how to use these models to bring value to organizations. This is as simple as this. Same thing goes here. Yeah, this is another, Replicate is another place for publishing models. They have also hundreds of thousands of models. We do have Kaggle, definitely is another place. So models are available widely. Even something old like R. R has got around 22, maybe now 23,000 pre-built packages. Okay, still very useful for research, especially. Okay, so we do have a lot of models. So we need to focus on the real problem, how to use these models to build solutions. Okay, and this actually is not new. This is not something that we have discovered right now. It has been discovered and formalized 10 years back. So this is a very famous paper, very key and very essential. Okay, please, after the session or maybe later, you should have a deep look into this paper. This paper is a cornerstone for identifying what are the challenges on the ground, which are mainly hidden challenges. So they are not clear in the beginning, but they are more of hidden challenges in building machine learning systems. And machine learning is actually the core of AI, because most of AI models are built around machine learning, in addition to other algorithms. What this paper is trying to say in brief, this is the most informative illustration. It tries to see we have something very core, which is ML code. Okay, very core, because without this ML code, machine learning code, the model, we have normal software. So what makes difference between an AI-powered software and a normal software is this model, this small black block. Okay. But however, to have this model up and running, this is the hard difficult, the simple difficult, sorry. To have this block up and running and delivering value, you need everything else around this block. Okay, like for example, you need analysis tools, data verification, machine resource management, process management, feature engineering, data collection, how to collect the data, how to expose the system to data and run the inference. You need serving infrastructure. You need to monitor the model because the model most probably will be drifting or having some deficiency you need to handle. So building an end-to-end system is different from just having a model. The good news is that this is back to 2015, okay? And everyone in the market, this era started around 2010. So for 5 years, everyone in the market is feeling these challenges, and almost every organization, consulting organization, is trying to solve it independently, using hard coding, using their own tools. So when this paper has been published, it has been received by the market. It's one of the most cited papers, actually. Okay? If you check the citation, I think it has proceeded to 1,500 citation. Okay, so this is the hidden technical depth. There are a lot of things that we need to handle to say we do have an working AI, production-ready AI solution. And this paper motivated a very important practice which called MLOps. MLOps is a de facto standard for delivering AI solutions. It has got many other names like AI Ops, Data Ops, large LLM Ops. You will find different names for it, but the core one is MLOps. And MLOps is built on another very de facto and very successful practice, which is DevOps. DevOps has made a jump in the software engineering, enterprise software engineering. And MLOps is an extension, actually, for DevOps. So the first part here is DevOps, actually, straightforward. DevOps enables automation and creating high efficiency software development and software engineering pipelines. Before DevOps, it was a struggle to publish a feature. Okay. With DevOps comes with a practice and tools as well. So there are automation tools. There are tools to build a pipeline for software, making software exactly like a manufacturing line. Okay. It was quite successful one. We have extended this with a separate cycle for machine learning, and we call it MLOps for simplicity instead of ML DevOps. Going to be very hard. So MLOps actually is all about automating the machine learning process. And again, here, machine learning refers to machine learning, AI, data mining, all these practices that are related to learning from data. Okay. And why we need a separate machine learning cycle? Why we not just include it in DevOps? Because the machine developing the model is quite challenging. Okay, developing a model is quite challenging. Let me bring something very old: viruses. Everyone knows viruses, right? So, right? What is the key? What is the key challenge and the actual difficulty with handling viruses? What is the key challenges with viruses? And it's actually general with security. It's the same problem with security. The main challenges is uncertainty, right? Exactly. It keep evolves. You don't know which virus will attack, how. Do we still have some vulnerabilities? Do we still have do we still have gaps? So the uncertainty is what made the security in general, and especially viruses, is very challenging. I remember 1999. By this time, there were claims that okay, we do have viruses. Viruses is a risk. However, at least hardware is secured. So virus is software, right? It won't be able to attack hardware. What happened in 1999? Can you remember? A very famous virus by this time? Chernobyl. You know this name? Chernobyl attacked the ROM, the BIOS, right? It was a nightmare, actually. We woke up one day, found that thousands of machines in one lab or tens of them. Finally, completely did no response, just the initiation, and nothing happens. No one knows what is happening. And there were a shop here, electronic shops called An-Nikhili in downtown. They invented a very good solution. So you bring your BIOS and another clean BIOS without attack, and they copy it to you. And they have been able to rescue thousands of machines in Egypt. Chernobyl was global attack. So it happens that it attacked hardware. What happens recently? Have you heard about the issue with NPM, the package downloader, package manager? Okay, now viruses has been equipped with large language models and being able to be smart. Worms can decide where to attack. They can feel and sense that an antivirus is working and trying to catch them, so they can keep quiet smartly. Okay, so this is a problem. So uncertainty is the main challenge. So the problem with AI, building AI models, that we do have a lot of uncertainty. We do have a lot of uncertainty. We are trying to solve unknown problem using unknown solutions. This is why we need a cycle to manage the model development. Okay, and this will bring us to what MLOps has been introduced to the market. It's not just a concept, but it introduces the concept of pipeline. So we have extended the DevOps pipeline, which is mainly made for software development. We have extended with two other types of pipelines, data pipeline and machine learning pipeline. Data pipeline aims at smoothline the data extraction and management process and make it available and ready for machine learning pipeline. Machine learning pipeline on the other side is responsible to automate the process of developing machine learning. And then once a model is ready, it's pushed and integrated with the code, the software. And we don't stop. We keep monitoring and logging what is happening with the model, so we can immediately discover drifting and deficiencies. And then we might also build a retraining pipeline to be able to enhance the model in automated way. So although it's straightforward and simple as a concept, but it makes a big difference in the market deploying MLOps. It solved almost all these hidden depths that has been discovered 10 years back. Okay, and this actually is integrated with a more important, I'm just here pointing out to something very key, which is cloud native software engineering. This is the de facto standard for developing software as we speak, and for past maybe 5, 6, 7 years, okay, maybe more even. And one of the main pillars of cloud native software is DevOps. So simply we extend DevOps with MLOps and make it the same framework for developing enterprise AI systems. Okay, so scalability. We have very good models. These models need to be retrained, even if they are ready-made, which means that we do have, or we need a little bit of tuning or retraining. Maybe we don't need retraining at all. Sometimes we just need to integrate it into our data pipeline. However, we come to another challenge, which is scalability. We need to run this model with scale. And scalability is faced by data scalability, volume, velocity, variety, which is used to be called 3 Vs, 4 Vs, 5 Vs. Okay. So we need the models to run in this setup. And for this reason, we build huge data centers, because actually scalability will not come from just software layers, but it will come definitely from we need hardware. But the point here is that leveraging this hardware, making it scalable, has been turned to be a software-driven stuff instead of being completely depending on hardware like maybe 20 or 15 years back. This actually also driven by cloud transformation, so quite important. So scalability is key. How to make this scalability works? Let's take an example. This is an example of a global project sponsored by World Bank Group. It's called AG Observatory. And this project actually aims at Earth. It's an Earth observation project. The point here, what makes something very important for our discussion is the number of metering stations. They have got more than 1.5 million metering stations collecting data points. How many data points is being collecting every day? Okay, this is every 6 hours. So it's actually about 28 billion data points collected each day. So this is you can imagine 28 billion per day multiplied by 30 for month, multiplied by 1 year. This is a huge data. In some business cases, just to give another example from the business, we do have a scale of 1 billion transaction per minute for some business, normal business, retail applications, for example. Okay, this is the challenge we have regarding data. If you want to run a machine learning algorithm or model on top of this, it becomes even more challenging. Okay, so actually, there are a lot of risks around AI, including responsibility. I'm not going to talk about the details of risk, but I'm just highlighting that in addition to technical depths, technical risks, we do have other risks: responsibility, accountability, dependability, sustainability, GRC, governance, regulation, compliance, risk and compliance, ethics and privacy. Many other challenges are surrounding an AI solution. It makes even things more complex. Okay, so how to solve and address this in the industry? I'm talking here about 3 examples. As I mentioned, everyone is mapped to one of the use cases. So the first one is mapped to business analytics, which is a common case for business organizations. We do have a lot of transactional data, order management, CRM data, ERP, financial data, human resource data, project management data, and we can name more than 50 areas for a business organization to handle. And for this one, the example platform here is called Databricks. I started with Databricks for another reason also, because Databricks actually, like Dr. Fawzia mentioned, it's a spin-off from a university. So it used to be first a graduation project, and then emerged to become a research project, and then a research lab in UC Berkeley University, one of the most famous innovative universities in the world, contributing to the IT industry. And then they spin off the company as Databricks. Okay, this is an example of platform. What makes this a platform? What's the meaning of platform? We do have multiple components all integrated together and ready for deployment. This actually, if you see this, most of these components are open source, like Apache Spark, MLflow, TensorFlow, PyTorch, Scikit-learn, Delta Lake. These components individually are open source, which means that you can go download it, deploy it for yourself, and do the solution. However, at the same time, we do have Workspace. Workspace have got notebook. What is a notebook? Simply Jupyter, Jupyter Hub, Zeppelin, all open source. The challenge is that if you want to bring all these components together and make a platform by yourself, by your company, it's going to take a lot of time and effort, and also you'll be responsible to support it down the road. This might work for a larger project like AG Observatory. It might work for Google and AWS, Azure, because they do have the investments. They can hire hundreds of engineers and give them budget, training, and make them dedicated for this. However, for a mid-tier enterprise organization, they won't be able to do this. So they need a platform ready, integrated, tested, and supported as well. This is one example, Databricks. The core of Databricks actually is Spark, Apache Spark. Apache Spark is the top engine in this domain. Top engine in the market in this domain. So when we talk about AI for business applications, you will find Apache Spark. Very scalable and very innovative as a design. And the most important thing is that I don't want to build a software stack and then struggle to integrate it with a hardware cluster. So I need also the platform to provide provisioning for the cluster itself. Okay, so Databricks simply provide different options: Azure, AWS, Google Cloud, Huawei. They support almost every known cluster, and even you can install it as on-prem. So you can bring your own cluster using Kubernetes, for example, and install your own solution. But it does have native integration with the cluster, so you don't have to struggle to scale up your solution. You can provision different nodes and separate nodes. Apache Spark itself, it handles many different workloads and support many different programming languages. Okay. Like SQL workload, like graph models, streaming, machine learning, native machine learning. So the engine itself is very wide and support different use cases for AI. This is an example of a very old, although it's old, more than 10 years, but I keep it. I keep it because at this time, you can imagine what can be done 10 years back. Okay. The example of a Spark running a sort operation on 1 petabyte of data and takes about 234 minutes on 190 nodes. Okay. And even trying to copy the data, just copy from a storage to storage might take even double this time. So they have done a sort of operation on this. You can see the number of physical machines and virtual machines, number of cores that you can bring up with this software technology. Apache Spark, like other scalable data platforms, is completely software. Okay, so it leverages horizontal scalability to build huge clusters. Okay, so how to manage ML ops? So this is the scalability. Apache within Databricks, Apache Spark covers scalability. What covers machine learning ops? A component called MLflow. MLflow is open source. However, it's integrated with Databricks. Okay, it can give you experiment tracking. So we do different experiments on to develop our model, maybe hundreds of experiments. Tracking the parameters, the features, the changes, the versioning is quite a nightmare for AI engineers, data scientists. It does this intuitively. So as long as you are including APIs for MLflow, everything you do in your notebook is tracked automatically and logged into a database. So once you finish, you can simply compare. You can do an AutoML to pick the best model without having to do this manually. Okay, it gives you a registry. So every now and then, some companies reach thousands, really thousands of models. How to keep track about these models, the versions, the changes. We do have a registry. We do have project management. If you do have multiple artifacts, you can bring them all together in one project. We do have model serving, very critical. Once you finish your model, you want to expose the model to the application. This is quite a huge job. You need to build APIs, you need to maintain them. It's built automatically. This is a production workflow, shows how the idea of pipelining, automating the whole thing altogether. Okay. The second example, computer vision platform. We do have many different applications for computer visions. OpenVINO. OpenVINO has been in the market for more than 10 years. Okay, it has been built initially for autonomous vehicle and edge AI cases, but it has been extended and integrated with many other components. The most important thing here is it's integrated with almost everything on Hugging Face, PyTorch, TensorFlow. It do model converter and optimization for deployment. It can deploy on a server or on edge embedded systems automatically. So it optimizes for embedded and edge. It has got the idea of pipelining as well. So pipelining is natively supported. Okay, data, create model, optimize and deploy the model. This is open source, by the way. So you can use it in your research projects. You can use it in your implementation. It's completely open source, and it comes with many tools, development tools, SDK, full SDK. They have got support for around 1,800 models, external models that is integrated with OpenVINO, tested and optimized for OpenVINO. There's a registry for this. With OpenVINO, we can use another MLOps component called Kubeflow. Kubeflow is similar to MLflow, but it gives much more advanced features. Okay, Kubeflow is open source as well. And the good thing about Kubeflow is that it's built on, I will come to this again. It's built on Kubernetes, natively built on Kubernetes, which means that it can be deployed almost in any cloud provider and on-prem as well. So if you have Linux distribution, Red Hat Linux that has got Kubernetes like OpenShift. You can deploy Kubernetes intuitively. And it supports even much more complex workflows. This is the automation of your machine learning. You don't have to send emails or share on Google Drive or in a database. Okay, it does a full integration for AI and machine learning, deep learning solutions and projects. This also have got a design tool. Qflow has got a GUI tool for designing pipelines. The third example is more centered around AI, agentic AI, and large language models, and it's called LanguageChain. LanguageChain services open source as well. We do have LanguageChain, we do have more advanced things, which is LangGraph, all open source. Okay. And by the way, these are just few examples of open source. We do have a lot of value in open source technologies. What is the idea of LanguageChain? When Gen AI and large language models emerged, it was quite hard to go and integrate with every single individual large language model and Gen AI and agentic AI most recently. Because you need to know about its own context management, memory management, APIs, vectorization techniques, and so on. So LanguageChain is doing that like a mediator. It becomes a mediator between the different large language models. Okay, you have also vector databases and embedding functions. So it provides all of this out of box. So it makes your life much easier when you develop a Gen AI or agentic AI solution. They also have got some certified models, so they do have integration with pre-built or pre-tested integration. And the value of having pre-tested integration is that you don't have to do this by yourself. You can go and pick one of these models integrated with LanguageChain or with Databricks or with OpenVINO, and you are quite confident it will work without bugs and without deficiencies. Okay. This is quite important for us in the industry because we don't want to come build everything and then we have one bug that stops everything. Okay, it's going to be very crucial. If you depend on an AI model and you start to see the value and suddenly it stopped, this is quite crucial for business. It might crash the whole business. Okay, this is the agentic LangGraph is the big brother of LanguageChain, but it provides agentic implementation, so you can build multiple agents. You can have those agents collaborating together to build a function. Okay, and the whole platform actually is available as open source. So LangChain, LangGraph, and the integration points all open source. On top of this, we do have LangChain, LangGraph Cloud, paid commercial, and we have LangSmith, which is the MLOps engine for LangChain. It's unfortunately LangSmith is paid, is not open source, but there's I think there's a free tier. Okay. So final slide. We have developed in Innove and for the AI Empower Egypt project as well. We use it for the same project, an engineering framework that instead of just having typically you see 5-6 phases in frameworks, but actually we need to go more granular. We need to do more lower level design for our software. We need to be careful about each separate activity of our AI solution development. Okay, so these are like 18 activities that you should be executing separately and in integrated way to be able to build practically a production-ready software for AI solution. Takeaways: the most important thing here is that uncertainty already exists in AI and emerging as we go. So every day we woke up with a new component developed, a new enhancement has been made, sometimes a new breakthrough, like what happens with DeepSeek, for example. It was a breakthrough overnight. Okay, we have a lot of AI models, open source models, components already published. We are talking about collectively 2 million models. This is a huge number. Even if 20%, you know the 2080, if 20% of this is true and solid, this means that we have 400,000 models. And if 20% is valuable, we are talking about 80,000 models. It's still very huge. So we don't have, I won't say we don't have to worry, but we should worry less about models. We need to worry about focus on the engineering building the solution around the model and make it sustainable, mitigating the risks associated with AI. For this reason, we have two main components: MLOps as a practice, life cycle management, and we do have also AI platform. We need to build on a platform rather than bringing and stitching single open source components. The three examples we have seen for three use cases: we have seen Databricks for business analytics, we have seen OpenVINO with Kubeflow for computer vision and more complex stuff like image processing, and we have seen LangChain, LangGraph for generative AI. Okay. Thank you so much. And if you have any question, it will be my pleasure to answer this or later.
Thank you so much, Dr. Thank you so much. Well, actually, we are behind the schedule, so we don't have the time for question now, but we can talk with the presenter later if you would like. They are here with us the whole day. Dr. Fawzia, will you please come here? Okay. Thank you so much for your presentation. Doctor, thank you so much. Thank you so much for this valuable presentation. Thank you. Thank you all. So, so we have now 15 minutes only for the coffee break. Please feel free to have the coffee break.
Malaysian, please. Please, please.
انا عايز حد لو اخش جيش يرميني على